tooth. I need to go get a toothpick or something. Big bag, yeah.
All right. Good evening, good morning, and good night to some, and welcome to Unique Perspectives Love Talk Radio. I'm your host, Charles Dixon, and I'm here with my great co-host, Mr. Adam Ford. How are you, sir?
What's up, fam? How y'all doing? I'm doing good, man. How you doing?
Oh my God, I'm pretty good.
Yeah, I had a chance to get outside earlier today. It was so nice outside. I was like, yes, have my little window open, have my little skylight open in my car, just driving around looking, just being chill.
Skylight, huh? Okay.
I had my whatever, my moon roof, whatever you want to call it, bro. I had it open. It was nice outside. That was okay.
It was nice. It should be after all this crazy storming that's been going on. It should be.
I know, right? Right? For real.
All right. So everyone, we hope everybody has had a wonderful week and of course are in great health.
Yeah. Looking forward to the weekend, Memorial Day weekend.
Oh yes, Memorial Day weekend. Yes, for sure. Let's see. Let me go out here and get the keg of beer. Psych, y'all. I don't drink.
I was like, that.
Don't even do it. Hey, none of that. Look, Adam. Look, you know the show will be over. The one day you see me come to the show like this. Yeah, Adam. You'll be like, oh, Charles, what happened?
But you got the red cup though. We already know what's up with the red cup. What's in that cup, bro?
That's some lemonade, man. Arnold Palmer. I keep.
Yeah. Arnold Palmer, right?
Yeah, Arnold Palmer, man. Yeah, I don't get down like that, man. No, but anyway, today we are going to talk about something that I honestly feel, from my humble opinion, is one of the main, if not primary, catalysts of the breakdowns that happen in relationships and marriages today. Now, before you say anything else, of course, this is relevant to people that's, as my good friend Bruce always says, the matrix. People that are connected to the social media matrix, whether it's Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Snapchat, all of these sites have messaging capacities where people can reach out and touch someone if that's what they choose to do. And so this approach, I mean, I know you probably all said, yeah, but we've had social media for a while and we connect this, that, and the other, but the access model that has been introduced by these personal direct messaging apps has changed the dynamics of everything. Because nowadays people can, like you said, they can reach out and touch you for no reason at all. Like, picture this before you read the thing, Adam, really quick. Picture this. Once upon a time, before we had all of this and all of these DMs and all of that, people could be outside and let's just say someone is interested. They'll walk up to you, but your first instance, if someone just came to you and says, hey, they don't know your name, they might just say, hey. And you're going to look kind of like in a startled way, like, oh, all right, hey, because you don't know them, right? And unless you're interested in hearing further, maybe you'll dialogue. But if not, you may be like, okay, I'm busy, thank you, I'm going about my business, right? But online, it's the same concept. It's just done through cyber means. So online, when people are coming into your DM, they're stepping up without knowing you a lot of times. They're stepping up to say whatever it is. People are so aggressive. They get on there and video. You don't even know you. All kinds of stuff. It gets crazy in there. So this will be a really good, exciting show today. But before I get the motor going, sir, you want to read the breakdown here?
Sure. This probably be the only time I speak during this show. But anyway, it goes down in the DM. Blind pursuit versus blind deceit. Companies like ADT sit at the top of their business food chains due to us employing them to serve as the home protection detractors of our most prized and personal possessions. So it would make one wonder why we don't take those same measures when it comes to how we allow the rite of passage to our hearts, minds, and persons via today's most popular personal access model, in that of the DM. Let's face it, if you're on social media, you're susceptible to be affected by its potential ruthless subversions in one way or another. For example, it can be the distraction that ruins your marriage, relationship, or the vehicle that leads you to the ill intent of a heartbreak as a result of opportunistic and bad intentions. What I'm saying, direct messenger leaves you open and vulnerable to the good, the bad, and yes, the ugly. Hidden communication, relying on the person's personal integrity. Okay, I don't know.
Yes. All right. That's good. That's like, hey, that's sound like that's good old school Mr. Rogers. But anyway, so just kidding. That was some good reading, sir. But anyway, all right. So when we think of the word, it goes down in the DM, blind pursuit versus blind deceit. So the blind pursuit is basically the person that's the unsuspecting person. You're minding your business. You see your friends on your timeline. You're laughing. People have these little groups and whatever little habits that they do on social media. Right. Some people just want to scroll to see what's funny or what's happening in the news. Then you get the unsuspecting that one day you may have went somewhere and you got your family with you or one of your close friends, post a picture, or you may just make a post, because sometimes the DMs are not warranted necessarily by something visual. You just may post something, right? And the next thing you know, bing, here comes this direct message that's uninvited, right? And now you're sitting there like, okay, I don't know, who is this person? Then I'm gonna tell you how you know if you've been affected by this. Who is this person? Do I got friends in common with them? Which really shouldn't matter, but that's how we think. Who do I have in common with them? Then we're gonna say, how do they look? Right? We go through all of these things, if we're being honest, and then we make the assessment as to whether or not we're gonna give it credence to reach back out and respond. So in most cases, the reason why I preface in the beginning of the show by thinking that this whole mode of backdoor communication, to me, I call it backdoor. I'm gonna tell you why it's called a backdoor. If I post a picture, you post a picture, if I post a post, whatever, if I'm just using us as an example. Yeah. If someone, maybe if they liked your picture, if they thought something was such and such, they can simply just say, this is a great picture, Adam, right there on the post. Right. If your intentions are, as I say, above ground. Okay. Right? Post it right there. But in a lot of cases, when we take that extra effort to say, man, look at Adam picture, hold on. Ding, DM, you look really nice today, Adam. Oh, I hope all is well, but when the next time you're going to be in North Carolina? Just make an example, right? Right. Now it takes a different persona. Now it's like, oh, wait a minute. And this could be someone that knows you. We're not even talking about strangers. This is someone that knows you. And then you have the component of the strangers, which takes it to a whole nother level. Because a lot of times the strangers will come talking to you like they know you. Right. You never talk to them a day in your life, but they come, hi, handsome, hi, this, hi, beautiful, whatever women are in, and they come at the whole thing. And now you are posed with this, I call it act of integrity. If you're a married person, that is, right? If you're married or in a committed relationship, DMs challenge your levels of integrity. Yeah. That's what they do. I mean, because think about it. DM, I think sometimes when I think of, and don't worry, I'm going to tell on myself. All right. When I think of DM, which is direct message, I think of dark message. That's how I think of it. I'm going to tell you why. All right. Because in most cases, if it's a message in the light, you already will have my phone number. Yeah. Anything to that degree, you're going to have my phone number to be able to reach out to me if it's important,
Right.
if it is like something, oh, we have this and this is someone wanted to award you this. Okay, you should already either have it there
Yeah.
or through my professional network on LinkedIn or something, whatever the coin is.
Right.
But if you are taking the time to get into someone's message box, you are saying to yourself, I want to do my work here in the dark, because it's a work behind the veil. The reason why is no one, it's not like what you're putting there, so everyone else is privy to it, unless you screenshotting and showing somebody.
Yeah.
If not, it's between you and that person.
Okay.
And so just think about this all day, 24 hours a day, depending on the activity of the person they're posting, because a lot of activity and interest and attention comes from the amount of engagement. So if you're engaging a lot, 9 times out of 10, those algorithm wheels are trending and someone is looking and being like, oh, bam, in the DMs. So this is why I say constantly. So if you think about it from a marriage and relational standpoint, committed relationship, we already have seasons and moods that we go through individually, even in the marriage. Even though you're married or in a relationship, you still you wake up in your feelings, or you might be offended by something the other day. The person is not necessarily telling you you're attractive like they used to. There you go, right? So these DMs, to me, serve as, back in the day, they had what we called, when your parents had those big stereo cabinets, remember they had the stereo cabinet with the speakers. In those things, they had what we called an equalizer. Right. And the equalizer is what balanced the sound. To get it the way you wanted to get it. Well, that's how DMs operate. The DMs balance the issues. Do you understand what I'm saying? If you got the issues going on, now listen, follow me on this one, right?
I'm following you, man.
In the relationship, in the marriage, you're trying to work it out at home or whatever you're doing, and then here comes the test of courage, test of integrity, if you will, with this person or people coming into the inbox saying or prompting you in an area of deficit currently in your situation.
Okay.
And the person is coming, here they come with the, you look this, oh my goodness, blah, blah, blah. All of the things that you're not hearing or not experiencing, you're hearing. I really think the DM is just the devil. But anyway, so listen. All right, so all of those things are going on. And now you're faced with a test. You're like, okay, I have my real life and I have the temptations of the back door. There's real life. I get off this computer or put my phone down, and now I'm in real world activity. Then I have the challenge of the back door of, how do I address it? Because no one knows this bridge of darkness exists except for me, right? And so you have to say to yourself, do I say something? Do I respond? Because let me tell you something, people. Let me just be flat out honest with you all.
Oh, Lord.
I'll give you a picture of how rough it can get in the DMs. All right. You have, in this day that is so crazy, especially with, I'm speaking from the man side. I know women probably have the same, but you already have a huge influx of OnlyFans invitees. That right there has just taken over everything.
Right.
You'll see these normal faced people that could be attractive come into your DM, and if you look at the picture or the page close enough, you're like, oh, this is, and you look, and you hear everything. People send. I have to block people because people will send you nude stuff without even asking. You open up, you'll see a message, and you'll see it says sent a photo, and you like, who sent a photo? You look, no. Oh God. Listen, you see these things, then you get the invites to, oh, can I share this with you? Can I send you this? Whatever. Then you got your regular folks. How you doing? How you doing, handsome? You like so and so, blah blah blah, whatever. Then you have your blast from Christmas past. You got the people who've been trying to search you out. The
Right.
ex, the old, the this. And so, mind you, some of these people may have your phone number. Some of them may have been blocked. Some of them, whatever. So
Right.
the DM is the finding place also. It's the place where people find people in these marriages or relationships. They'll say, "Oh, that's just Chris from elementary school. He used to have a crush on me, but now he's divorced and he just wanted a shoulder. We don't need yours, right?" That's the whole thing. Everyone, there's always the blast from the past coming back with a vengeance because you were so special and they missed their opportunity when they had their opportunities. Now it's like here we are. And so, listen, I'm not making up anything that I myself haven't experienced. Like, I'm not even going to try to lie and say I have not been a culprit of the dark side of communication. Right? Okay. So, I mean, look, the thing I think that's so tough to manage about this, and when I say tough to manage, because it keeps you on your integral heels, if you will. It keeps you on you got to be on your P's and Q's because day to day, this stuff is in your face. And you have to say to yourself, I mean, most of us, if we're honest, we may all say, well, I'm not really on there. But most of the times, to some degree, you're connected to it. You're scrolling, you're looking. And so at any given time, something can catch your attention.
That's true.
Or we can be, in most cases, our own enemy. And I'm going to tell you, 529 says it's like drugs. You're right.
Exactly.
I need my post. But anyway, so we're our own enemy because a lot of the times we invite the chaos.
Wow.
And the reason why I say we invite the chaos, we throw so many hooks and baits out there just because we want some attention. And then when you throw it out there, you get back more than you bit off. Because you may think in the moment you like, you may want a certain person to see you, or you may want your haters to see you or hear you, whatever. So you jump out there, you post something, you say something, and now here comes the onslaught. You got to deal with what you asked for. And a lot of times there is no distinction between who desires attention in and out of covenant or relationship, because they are lonely too, even in marriage, even in relationship. So even in those situations, you're desiring what you feel you are lacking. And so what that does is now causes this issue on your hand. If you're this person that everyone knows when you deliberately are posting. It's different from posting to really be posting, and there's deliberate posting when you're looking for a certain response. Right. And so we post these things, and next thing you know, like you said, here comes the cat of nine tails, and they're all running behind you, and it's just I do that to get your attention. But anyway, all of this is happening, and now it's like you're dealing with an issue. So that brings us, sir, before I turn it over to you, how do you say, and it's just your opinion, I know you don't speak for everyone, but how do you say living in a world where we're all basically exposed to this type of traffic? And when I say exposed, I'm not saying you don't have to, you can't ignore messages and things like that. But as long as you're on these sites, at some point or time, you could potentially be approached, if not all the time, right? I'm sure some women could probably say it's all the time in my DMs, whatever, but it happens. You know what I'm saying?
I get what you're saying. So I think I would take the approach that, so we live in a society nowadays where we have unbridled accessibility to literally everything.
Yes.
And it's not just us as adults, but it's also our children
Yeah.
family, friends, where we are allowed basically to get into places heretofore that we weren't able to get to. And technology has allowed this to happen because, again, it gives us a whole new level of expansive accessibility.
Mm.
But I think I would like to put this out there, and I want to put it out there in a way that I think I want everybody to understand, and that is the fact that regardless of our technological advancement and our ability to create networks to allow people to connect with one another over vast miles and different countries, different continents, we still have responsibility for our own behavior. We have responsibility for our own decisions. So when it comes to the DMs, in terms of people DMing us and they're sending us direct messages, it's not posted, it's private, nobody else can see but you and the person that sent you the message. It's still our decision as to what we're going to do with that. Now, I get DMs on Facebook. That I don't particularly care for it. First of all, y'all already know how I feel about social media.
Yeah.
Y'all already know how I feel about Facebook. I'm
Yeah.
not a Facebook person. I'm not a social media person. I'm only on here because of this dude right here. It's the only reason why I'm on Facebook. Okay. But I understand that it actually gives us, it helps us to do things. Like I've said before in previous conversations, social media at its very best is a tool. It's a tool that you can use either for good or for bad. So you have to make that choice. And again, it comes to us being able to make that decision. The reality is that before there were DMs and direct messages and places where you could get messages from or text or whatever like that, there was the office place where you work with people day in and day out.
Yeah.
And somebody might have an interest in you and they might actually express that interest in you. You as a person, as an individual person, have the choice and the responsibility to either say yes or no.
Yeah.
Pretty simple. Okay. And so nowadays that has not changed. It hasn't changed. I think we want to create a new paradigm, but there is no new paradigm to be created. You still have a choice. You still have a responsibility as to whether you're going to allow those DMs to get in and you respond to them.
Yeah.
You don't have to respond to them. Listen, I don't respond to mine unless I know you. Unless you know me and I know you, I don't respond to them. I get a lot of crazy DMs. People want me to invest in this and people want me to click on this link. Here's everything I want to say real quick about this whole DM things and the links, hyperlinks that you might get. We need to be really, really careful that the links that we click on are actually safe links.
Yeah.
Because what's happening is when you click on these links, people have the ability to access your information, access your credentials, access your passwords, access your login information so they can get into more accessibility in terms of what you have. So you need to be really careful about that. Just want to put that out as a PSA, okay? But here's the other thing. Again, I need us to really come to terms with the fact that it's not about the DMs. It's about you. What are you going to do when they DM you?
Yeah.
What decision will you make? DMs. You got a decision to make.
Yes.
You talk about direct messages. I'm talking about the decisions that you need to make. We are all faced with various levels of temptation that come in our lives every single day. Every single day. We are all faced with temptations. And if you never leave your house, you still got your phone.
Yes.
So the level of temptation is going to come. That's coming in your direction. The question is, what are you going to do about it? Fine 29 said character choice. Absolutely. It's about your integrity as a person.
Yeah.
Are you going to allow somebody's temporary interest in you, are you going to allow that to determine what you do from here on out?
Wow.
Here's the thing. As for me, I realize that what I have right now in my hand is worth more than what I don't have. And the don't have is a direct message.
Wow.
Because I don't know what they're offering. They say they're offering this, that, and the other, but I really don't know that for sure. But what I do have is more valuable than what I don't have. So why would I make a decision that will permanently affect my life for something that's temporary in transit?
Wow.
That's all I'm trying to say with this whole DM situation. I'm not the one to come at with some foolishness about, oh, somebody messaged me about this. They said I look good. They said I was fine. Bro, sis, what's up? Are you serious right now?
But listen,
I understand.
That applies to a person at a content state in life. Like you're talking from a man in a content state of life. Like meaning you're not. I'm not saying that nothing is ever perfect in life, but what I'm saying is it's not like you're saying, oh yeah, I need someone to tell me I'm handsome today. You understand what I'm saying? If you're a content person, you're not having to deal with the ebbs and flows that come with insecurity.
But here's the thing. My thing is this. I don't, and this might be just me, and because I'm weird and I'm strange, and I know I'm off. I know I'm a weird one. I know, I understand that. I get that. I appreciate that. Okay.
Okay.
Just because you say I'm fine in the DM, why would I allow that to put me in a compromising position? I don't know you. You a stranger to me. Look, listen, and here's the thing though. So like Charles said, if you really want to get in contact with me, you already got my phone number.
That's it.
You text me, call me, but do not DM me. And if you're DMing me, then there's an emergency. Okay, I'm gonna need you to present some credentials. What's your password? What's your login on my DM? Because we're not doing this foolishness, man. I'm not doing it, man. I'm telling you, we make decisions for something that's temporary.
Yeah.
Over something that will affect our permanent life.
Yeah.
Somebody got it. Somebody gave you a wing. They winked at you, and you're like, oh, they winked at me. Are you so thirsty and hungry for attention that you would allow something like this to completely affect your life like that? Come on, y'all. Come on. We better than that. Are we better than that? I think we're better.
Yes.
I think we're worth more than that. You know what I'm saying?
You need a megaphone so all of social media can hear because they deaf.
Dude, whatever it take, bro. Whatever it take, man. Because I'm just not with this foolishness, man. Listen. Yeah. All of us get tempted. I get tempted. We all get tempted on a regular basis. But you got to make the right decision for you.
Oh, hey Maria, did you hear this? Oh.
And she's in the comments.
See what he said, Maria. Oh, horrible. But anyway,
Come on, man.
I'm playing, man.
My thing is, I think we play ourselves so cheap. We really, really do. Somebody gave you a compliment and how you looking now. You just melting like butter. Oh, come on, man. Come on, man. Yeah. You don't mess up what you got for what you don't got.
Say what now?
I said you're gonna mess up what you got for what you don't got.
Yes. And here now, I mean, this is some good stuff. I mean, it's like, man, it's when we think of this, it's good to break it down this way. It's not that we all that aren't grown understand necessarily the core of this, but sometimes people don't really hear it said back to them like that, right? And so if we are honest, a lot of railroaded relationships began right there in the DM. It really did. I mean, and I'm not saying they were always the best ones that started there, but a lot of these ones that we, in 9 times out of 10, should not have been dealing with started in what I said, the dark messenger, right? It starts there, and if you think about it, a lot of times what I have learned is what we start in secret often stays in secret. Because there is a dark connotation associated with. So think about it. The world talks about the DMs from the perspective, like if you're listening to Hollywood, they say slid into the DMs. And slid alone, it gives you a sly connotation.
Right.
It's like I eased my way in there to shoot my shot, or to offer you this, or to try to lure you out for that. And so it happens all the time. And so I can't think of the countless people that I've talked to, converse here and there. And there's always a story of, oh, how did you and this person meet? Oh, we met. He was doing this, that, and the other, and blah, blah, blah. And how long were y'all dating? 2 years, until I found out he had a wife. So my point is, you know why you found out later he had a wife? Because you were kept where you were found, in the dark.
In the dark.
My point is, that's the thing about this thing is, because we all will be like, yeah, that's right. But on those days where we don't feel pretty, or we're not hearing that we're pretty, guess what we do? We thirst trap, or we're not feeling handsome or whatever. We thirst trap to get back in return what we think we're missing. And once we do that, now we have to deal with what's coming your way. Because like I said, you can look great all you like, but when you post whatever you post, you know, here it comes. So now it's up to you to say, hey, I'm in a marriage. Hey, I'm in a relationship. I'm going to ignore it. I'm not going to respond, whatever, and go from there. That's what I feel is one of the biggest challenges. But here's something I'm going to introduce that I'll be willing to bet most of us don't consider.
Okay.
Is everything we touch on the internet, each individual person, it reacts the same way we do in real life. It records, the internet records every digital footprint that you administer, right? Whatever you touching, wherever you are, whatever you're sending, whatever you're receiving, it's recorded.
Right.
I'm gonna give you an example. And this is coming from my career in life. I'm gonna give y'all some good free knowledge today. Any site that you are on for free, so Instagram, all of that, Facebook, all of those sites, they're free because the information you exchange, whether online or whether specifically in your messenger, is sold into what we refer to as a data lake.
Okay. Yeah.
A data lake is where your information, your pictures, your setting is sent. It's sent downstream to, there's the FBI gets a piece of the pie. You have law enforcement jurisdictions get a piece of the pie because they're trying to solve crimes. You have the porn community get a piece of the pie. Where do you think some of those images that you see when they having them commercials, wherever you see them, they're not just actors. They are people, real people's pictures, not stolen, but recorded because you didn't sign the privacy waivers. Okay. So they're taking your information, dumping it downstream, and selling it to these other outlets, like even dating sites. Dating sites are getting reporting numbers of people single, people infidelity. Because look, AI is killing it. AI is going into your DMs, looking at your profile, who's married, who's this, who's saying complicated, who's saying in a relationship, and they're comparing all of the data, and they're saying this is how we got all these percentages of 90% of this is this, and because all of this information is coming from our data. And so I'm only saying that to say I'm giving people a different way to look at how we interact in the DM, because the DMs are not private. It's a direct messenger, but it ain't private. You can send all the little nasty pictures that you want to. It's recorded and dumped down. It is not private. No. I think we don't think about that, but the difference is with your cell phone, you're paying and you have signed an agreement. We're not talking about prepaid phones. That's going downstream.
Right.
The cell phone companies are bound by certain laws.
Right.
So they can only get your information from law enforcement and things like that.
Right.
You know, when there's a crime involved. But other than that, they can't just dump information downstream.
Right.
But they can see it. However, so where we are now is we're exposed in this kind of way. And sometimes we wonder how do you think these companies survive, that you see these ads on Instagram where they'll say, do you want to see what your person's doing? Do you think they're cheating? They don't know no more than you, but they have your data. So that's how they're able to connect people, because you're signing up to a service that likely already has your cell phone, already has your email, already has the person you're dealing with numbers, because they've already got the algorithms from your phone.
Right.
So this world is deep. So you got to understand how this stuff connects. And when you realize it like that, you say, hey, let me start scrubbing life and back up on some of this data that I'm giving out. All of these things we're saying and posting. Heck, it made me slow down on posting. When you think about your stuff just being sent everywhere, all these and stuff you put out there for free, you're like, oh no, let me just back up. So you got to think about life and from that perspective on how you are dealing. Especially, listen, if you are a married person, you want to keep your marriage together, you got to keep your data together, right? So, and if you're a committed person that's desiring to get married, you got to keep your data together, because if not, the data is going to find its way to tell on you. Make no mistake about it. So you got to think about it like that, because when you start seeing, here's another trick. One of my guy friends found out that his person became a victim of the DMs. But you know how? Because back in the day, when they were early, they had been dating for 10 years before they got married. They were 10 years in. So early on, there was a discretion with another guy back in the day. He forgave her. They kept on going. How he ended up finding out about this person again? This husband didn't have no connection with this guy. He's from a whole different. The guy's from a whole other part of the United States. They're not in friends. They don't have anything like that. But what he started to see was the person kept showing up on his thing as someone you may know. Now he's sitting up here like, no, I don't know this person. But you know why they say someone that he may know? Because his wife knows him. His algorithm from the DM was communicating with him. And so because it was doing this, he was like, why am I seeing this man? And he went into hysteria because it brought up past pain. So he asked his wife, why did I see such and such on my page today? She gonna say, I don't know. That playing like she don't know. And listen, like most of us that ever have gotten caught with your pants down, you make a slip. And what did she do? Left the iPad open on their kitchen table in the DMs because she didn't think he was home.
Lord have mercy.
He was downstairs in their basement. He didn't go to work that day, but she thought he was gone because the normal pattern was that she do her stuff. He leaves early in the morning because he got to be at work like 6 o'clock. So she thought he was gone. The iPad was on the table, iPad open. When he comes upstairs, he didn't call her first because he sees his iPad. He's like, and who was in the iPad? Do you know this person? That man face right there, all on the back and forth messages. Am I going to see you today? I miss you. Oh, horrible. So
God.
I feel so bad for him because he tried to fix it years ago when it broke the first time, right? He was trying to fix it. But again, when they went through their whole thing, they went through painful counseling. And the lady in the counseling, this is what he's telling me. She said, how did you even connect with this person? He messaged me on Facebook. Oh. So my point is, this is why I say I know that direct messages it's not always deceitful. But it is, you got to understand, it is a private bridge between you and that person. No one is seeing what you're saying. No one knows for sure your motives and intentions or feelings for that day when you're interacting or not, or thinking about interacting. It's there, right? And so you got to wrestle with that. And so really quick, and I'll turn this over. Demetria wanted to know why we talked about blind pursuit. I mean, what was meant by blind pursuit versus blind deceit is because, let's just be honest, we have a world full of people looking for happiness, looking for their person, who's for me, my special, this, that, and the other. So the thing that the DM does, the pursuit portion is you're hopeful that someone coming in and always blowing you up and love bombing, as we say, has the right intentions. This person really finds me, whatever, as they're saying, and going on and going on. The blind deceit portion is when you meet someone via cyber world. I'm not saying it necessarily has to change today in real life, because we just jacked up in real life. But when you meet in cyber world, people can hide a ton of things from you before you even get to meet them. You know what I mean? They have a whole entirely different world, and it doesn't take a person a lot of effort to be like, "Good morning, beautiful. Good morning, handsome. Oh, you look great today. Oh my!" And this becomes a pattern.
Right.
Then you want to see the person in real life, but by that time, you're no longer being circumspect because you're crutching on them. Now you just want to see them. You're not thinking about all these things, but the people have hid all of the relevant and important things you need to know from you.
Right.
So you meet them, whatever happens in your grown world happens. Then you got these promises that you were sold, and you're going on about life only to find out what you thought was one thing is an entirely different thing. And it's being scripted to be more situational than relational. You understand what I'm saying?
Oh, that's a lot, man. That's
for sure. I'm telling you, that's
all. This stuff is just it's a lot. And again, I gotta go back to the fact that, okay, yeah, we got all this technology, and again, like I said, this accessibility to so much stuff that we can have. We got too much accessibility. I really do believe, because it seems to me that we have not reached the maturity level of people who are responsible for what they have. And as a result, we're taking these things and we're just doing whatever with them. I'll even go as far as to say, and again, I've already said that, social media on its best day is a tool that is to be used.
Yeah.
But it seems like to me that more of us are being used.
Weaponized.
We're being used by
sure.
others who are taking advantage of the technology.
For sure.
We're not really protecting ourselves. And this is one thing that I do want to say to everybody that's listening, is that we have to learn to begin to protect ourselves. Nobody else is going to protect you but you. Especially if you're online, especially if you peruse social media on a regular basis, you have to learn how to protect yourself. Okay, learn how to be a little bit cautious. Learn how to be a little bit suspicious of people when they start to DM you. You know what I'm saying? Because everybody doesn't have good intent in terms of when they express interest in you. Everybody doesn't have a good motive when they're giving you a compliment. Some people just want to take advantage of you. Some people just want to manipulate you and exploit you. And so it's important that you learn how to protect yourself, protect your heart, protect your mind, protect your soul, protect your body. Because again, some of these people in these DMs don't mean you any good, honestly. And this is the reason why I do not get into the DM situation, or for that matter, the whole social media factor, because I realize that there are a lot of people out there that have ill intent. They're sending you DMs all because they want to get to use you and take advantage of you and exploit you. But ladies and gentlemen, brothers and sisters of the court, you got to learn to protect yourself.
Wow.
Okay. You got to learn to shut some things down. As a matter of fact, you got to learn how to ignore some things.
Yeah.
You got to learn how to delete some things.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Delete that DM. You don't need that. I don't need that kind of attention. I get attention from my wife. I don't need your attention. You know what I'm saying? Or better yet, I give myself the attention that I need. Why do I need extra attention? I don't. Don't be so thirsty. Don't be so hungry for attention that really isn't attention. You know what I'm saying? And so we got to learn how to protect ourselves up in here. That's all I'm trying to say. Protect yourselves.
No, that's real talk. And listen, to go along with protecting yourself, don't fool yourself. I'm gonna see what I say when I say this.
Yeah.
DMing in today's world is a sport. So the point I'm making, if you got to think of it like this, a person that is DMing you is not just DMing you. The sport of DMing is you have the freedom to throw your hand across the world. So my point is, this is why these people, they take one script and they send it to everybody. Yeah, they DMing all over the place, seeing who's going to take the bait. So that's how you have to. It's sad that you got to look at it from a protection standpoint, but think of it like this: in regular real life, we don't have access to say hello to whomever we think is fine or attractive. You may see him in a car on the expressway, be like, "Oh, that's a handsome man," or "a nice little lady," and she gone about her business, or she way on the other side of the highway. Or you at this mega church and somebody up there preaching looks nice, but you're never gonna talk to them. So it's kind of different. But in cyber world, you can throw your shot at wherever, whomever, and that's what makes it so dangerous. So you have to be able to say, "Listen, I have guardrails here for a reason. You don't get to cross them because you want to." You understand? You got to be able to say, "Listen, the guardrail is here. I know you're saying this because listen, for you can get the messages all the way from something spiritual to something very carnal, and sometimes they fall in the same line. When the intent behind it is not right, because sometimes I don't need you to reel me in with a spiritual hello if at the end your clothes off. It don't matter, right? It's either come naked. I'd rather you come naked than don't come with the Bible in your hand and then on the other side. You know what I'm saying? So my point is, we have these different ways of trying to mask ourselves to lure what we call ourselves wanting. But the point is, we have to be able, like you said the best when you said, love yourself. Yeah. Validate yourself, because DM's best friend are those that openly lack loving themselves. The ones that are insecure, you're not loving yourself properly. Your DMs are your best friend. The DMs are going to give you all that you need to hear. And here's the even more sickening about it. Do you know that every DM in your DM is not a person? These are bots. Some of them are. These are AI bots speaking to you. I'm gonna tell you how you think you don't know. Go to their page and look down on the page. You're gonna see the same thing on every. How you know the bots is when you go look at their page. You see a real picture in their profile. You may see one or two pictures in their photos, but their whole timeline is gastro this and the bot. Right. That's AI. That's not real people. And when some of us are talking to people, and this is a computer talking to you. So you can't make fools of ourselves. But my point is, you got to know this stuff to be like, hey, it's at the end of the day, is this stuff worth it? Right. Anything that you have free space to do is considered the public and is already problematic in itself. Think about public transportation. Think about this, that, and all of these different things that we do that are publicly. You're open to the public issues. Yeah. So sometimes when you thinking of things that you want to be more secure, look at the things that you pay for. Because even on those dating sites, they got those sites that's free. And when you got those sites that's free, all of your data is being dumped, sold to other repurposed and sold to other dating companies. And on and on and on. Your stuff is not private. Right. You go to the ones that you got to pay for. If that's what your thing is, you have stand a little chance on that side with dealing with people that are serious. Yeah. But on this side, when you got the free stuff, you can forget about it. That's just a joke. Yeah. Yeah. So I think, again, along the lines of the whole protection is the idea
that again, people are coming at you with, oh man, they're coming at you with the stuff that appeals to you. They're coming at you with the stuff that is attractive to you. You are drawn in by the thing that you believe that you want the most. And again, you got to understand that this is it's Lord have mercy. It's a trap. It's a trap. It's a straight up trap. Trap music, yeah, it's a trap. And they trying to get you. And so you got to learn how to resist this stuff, man. I'm about to come down the street again. I didn't think I was going to do it, but I got to come down. You got to learn that what they're trying to give you, what they're trying to sell you in terms of them coming through your DMs. Here's the thing. If it was a legitimate thing, then you wouldn't need to come through my DMs, right?
Yeah.
If it was valid, if it wasn't something that was illicit, you wouldn't need to come through my DMs. But because it is invalid, because it is illegitimate, because it is illicit, the only way that you can get me to even look at it is to come through my DMs.
Yeah.
Okay. And you're going to put it in a way, it's going to be put in a way that it is appealing to me, because now it's playing on my own secular mindset, my own carnal mindset. It's playing into that. So now I'm just almost at its mercy, but you're not at its mercy. If you would only exercise the ability to make a good decision, if you would only exercise the ability to use self-discipline and say, no, I don't need this in my life.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I don't want this in my life. But so many of us are just allowing our lesser selves to overcome our greater selves to the point where we just want to do whatever it is that we want to do. You know what I'm saying? And whatever the consequences are, that's what we're going to be. That's what we're going to have. But you don't have to live like that.
So
you don't have to live like that.
Yes. Here is the question Danielle's throwing. She says, so how would one communicate it then if it is legitimate, but the DM is the only way because you're connected via social media? Tell me that. Again, this is how I would think about it, because she makes a valid point, because in this cyber world that we all are connected to, these things like direct messenger or whatever, they exist, because how else are you going to reach out and touch somebody, right? Dating sites, whatever. But again, I would pay attention to, if it were me, if I'm a woman, I would pay attention to what the person does above ground. And when I say above ground, like if you post something, let's just say, let's use Danielle. Danielle may post a religious post or something, whatever. If you post something, the person who's interested in Danielle should engage you there on your post first.
Okay.
And if you saw the interest, then to go further, you can say, hey, I'm going to message you. I need to tell you something real quick. But you've already started above ground. But if the person starts subterranean in your DM, that's already coming, like you said, the private bridge. So now the person can move about without the visual accountability at the front door. It's like I'm in the back door doing whatever, saying whatever I need to get your emotions going, but you really don't know who I am. So at least when a person posts on your post, they're telling you they don't necessarily, when I say above ground clues, there are typical clues above ground. Yeah. So when a person is posting on your post, they're saying, now this is what the best of intent that is, because we got some slick ones too, but they're saying to you, hey, I'm letting you know, I don't care who sees this, I'm interested in you, or I like what you did there, blah, blah, blah. But when everything you say is behind the door, there was time where I would post things and it wasn't even a picture. It was something motivational, encouraging. There was this person who would never comment on my post. She always came to my DMs, and I didn't understand it. And I was like, "Well, the post is right there. Whatever you want to say, you can say it right there." It got to the point where one day the lady, she kept saying, "Could you go a little deeper? What you meant right here?" I said, "I can if you ask it on the page. I ain't never from that no more." She ain't ever say a word else again. But my point is, we got to be able to recognize the games. What she was really wanting to do was establish a backroom affiliation.
Yeah.
She wanted to start to talk in the back so we can grow from there and then move out into the light or whatever, or stay in the dark. But nonetheless, but that's how these things are. So you got to be wise enough to see them, because if you're a person that's illuminated on social media in any capacity, you're going to get the DMs.
Yeah.
Tell them, Jason. I know you know. Anyway, if you're doing anything great, fabulous, promote, whatever you're doing, it's going to come. So it's going to be your moment to battle with. You have to stay on your P's and Q's with your integrity, like you mentioned earlier, to make sure you're being this person to say, listen, I don't have to fall into this. I know who I am for myself. I don't need someone to always build me up. I know who I am. I know who God made me to be. Simple, period, point blank,
Yeah. I mean, and again, I'll go back to this again. I think I've said this, I don't know how many times already. But again, we got to understand that these are tools.
Yeah.
And I don't get how this stuff is breaking us down the way it's breaking us down, man. I mean, it's a tool. It's a tool that you can use. And I understand people are prone to allow certain things to take control of them and take control of their lives, to influence them. I understand that. I get that. But again, at the end of the day, are you going to allow this thing to manipulate you in that way? Are you going to allow this DM to take you from the mountaintop to below the valley? I'm like, yo, come on, y'all.
But listen, we're talking about DMs today, but it is no different than every other genre that we allow influence on our life. Whether it is the cult, the black market cult, sometimes church, over here, the gang on the street. Everybody has their mode of influence. And all it takes is insecure people that lack the kind of self-love that they need to fall into it. And so think about it. When you go into Lowe's and Home Depot, these are places that specialize in selling tools.
Yeah.
Tools are to be worked.
Yeah.
So social media is doing their part. They put the tools there to be worked. We're just being ignorant of the tools. But the tools are there to be worked. So that's why you got people who says this is like taking candy from a baby. All I got to do is get in the DMs and play with this person's head and mind or whatever and sell them what they want to hear. And there you go. So, we got to learn while the world is driving their social engineering machine with all of their tools that work, you have to be the person to say, listen, I can take a little piece of this, what I need, but I don't have to buy the whole store. Some of us are buying the whole store and we can't handle the experience, is what I'm saying.
Yeah, and I definitely get that. Again, it's just, I mean, I think was Danielle said is that the DM is only a communication tool. And that's exactly what it is. And I know that we can allow people to influence us in that way. But here's my thing, though. So if it feels wrong, then it probably is wrong. Okay. I need us to begin to learn to trust our own instincts. I need us to begin to learn how to discern some things, because if you learn how to discern some things, then some people can't get stuff over on you. You know what I'm saying? Some people can't pull the wool. If you learn to discern and trust your instincts, and for my church going folk, for my believers, if you allow the Holy Spirit to lead you, then you won't go wrong. I'm just saying, man. Yeah. I'm just saying. I think a lot of times we just allowing this stuff to have too much sway in our lives. We're allowing this stuff to have too much influence in our lives. You know what I'm saying? Again, I'm not the one that subscribes to that thing, but I know a lot of people do. Just say no every now and again. Or better yet, delete the ones that you're not even familiar with. I'm not familiar with this person. Delete. I'm not familiar with this person. Delete. I'm not familiar with this person. Delete. And even the ones that I do know, that come up in my DMs,
Yeah.
I would be like, yo, you got my number. You can text me. Okay.
Right.
We're not fitting to do this. We're not fitting to do this, bro.
It's the same concept. Anybody who's ever been on online dating or anything like that, DMs are the same concept. We use it the same way. On dating sites, people meet people on there. They have a dialogue started, and it's like a trusting ground before I give you my phone number.
True.
So on social media, people are communicating back and forth. Then it becomes, oh, you want to exchange numbers? And then once you get out of the DMs into the phone number, but you got to remember it started in the DMs, right? And so whatever happens after you get out of it, don't forget where it started. True. So it started in the DMs. And so you got to be able to think about that because, you know, people are honest. Anywhere people can get, again, I got to keep saying it because it is one of the biggest things today. I need attention. Right. So wherever we get the attention is wherever we pick it up at. And when we pick it up at, we drag it on with us. And then, you know, like I said, that's why it's important to keep your own pulse to make sure that you have this, because that whole personal taking, it's like layers. We start in the DM, we talking on the phone, let's see each other. It's layers, but it gets there if you're not careful. You know.
Yeah. I mean, and again, I really want us to understand that again. As far as my estimation is concerned, this is just a tool, man. I really need us to get that this is something that should be used. We should not be being used by it. Yeah. Or better yet, we shouldn't be abused.
Yeah, that's more like abused.
I mean, because a lot of us are being abused by it.
It's abused.
Abnormal use, okay? Because now we're allowing it to have such a prevalent influence on our lives that we can't seem to do without it now.
Yeah.
And this is the craziest thing.
Night and day. Yeah.
I know we can do better. Yeah. I know we can do better. We can do better than this, y'all. Come on, we need to make a change up on it. I dare somebody to start unplugging and start deleting and removing people. You know what I'm saying?
But to get there, it takes a shift of focus.
Okay. Let's do it.
When you're focusing too much on what you think you need and what you think you're not getting, all of that stuff, the tool is going to work you. It's going to use you. Yeah. You got to shift your focus on who you are as a person. There are other things that you have to offer the world, to offer yourself, other than a single slab of meat of yourself. You know what I'm saying? There's other things to you other than that. And so you have to discover those things and chase that and find pleasure there, because if not, what the reason so many people are becoming consumed by the DM is because when you're idle-minded and lonely and lacking attention and I need validation, it's going to obliterate you if you just sit there. So you have to shift your focus into a different area so that this thing doesn't get you. Yes, I know. Let me just say this. DMs are attached. All this stuff is attached to our things, and it happens. Mm-hmm. Now, I do know one thing, though. On Facebook, it's probably one of the few that if you really didn't want to be bothered with it, you can delete the Messenger app. Now in Instagram and the other ones, it's built into the app. So if you got the app, you got the messages. But on Facebook, if you delete Messenger, nobody can contact you on there except that's how you force them above ground, right? They can't choice. They have no choice other than to say something on your post. Leave it at that.
Yeah, man.
This is another good show, y'all.
This was good. This was good. I just don't want us to become so hungry and so thirsty that instead of water, we drink soda, and instead of real solid food, we eating Twinkies.
Oh.
I'm just saying because a DM can't fulfill you, or at least it shouldn't, because it ain't real.
Hey, if snacks fulfill people at nighttime is looking for it, right? But anyway, it depends on what you're looking for, buddy.
That's another show.
If you're looking for that, they got snacks everywhere if you're looking for that. But if you're a person that decides to hold full meal, Yes, you got to go somewhere else to get the full meal. But hey, I'm not even going to let you say that you can get your snacks, man. If you want to get your snacks, but it ain't good for you. It's not healthy. That's all I'm gonna say. Right?
Looking like a snack. Looking like a snack.
Yeah, it ain't healthy for you. The snack, they got snacks on there all day long. That's a new 7-Eleven. But yeah, you got to stay off of these things. They're just not good for you. That's all.
Wow, my God.
Yeah, it's not good. It's keeping you in the land of temptation too much.
Right.
Oh my goodness.
Woo.
Anyway, I guess the other thing I'll save it for the other side. All right, y'all. All right, appreciate you guys. Thanks for tuning in to Unique Perspectives Love Talk Radio, where we talked about It Goes Down in the DM, Blind Pursuit versus Blind Deceit. Next week, same time, same channel, 4:30 p.m. Central Standard Time. We look to see you guys there. All right. All right.
Now, here we go with the unplugged behind the scenes. What the real truth of the matter is. Let me find out. This boy about to show off up in here. He about to show off.
Now that the show is over and Adam has taken off his pastor's robe. Let me just say, let me get into the real DMs. Listen now. No, I'm just playing. So listen. I'm just gonna say it and just call it. Adam tried his best to encourage you guys and to see it from a different perspective and light. But he listen, truth be told, Adam was dead on when he said we are being used and abused by the tools. We are. That's a fact. People would probably laugh if the masses heard us talking about the DMs. They would laugh because the masses used them, right? They used them and they abuse themselves in them. They don't need to be abused. They already abusing, right? They're doing the abusing. Everyone's reaching out, and I mean, half of these, or more than 3/4 of these relationships that we're seeing in the modern stratosphere is starting in the DMs, one way or another. Whether it is a situationship, on the side ship, somebody from the past ship, or someone looking to like your pictures ship, whatever, it's all there. And so you just have to be aware. And when you see these things, ask yourself, when you're tempted to engage, why am I tempted?
Right.
Why do I feel I need to speak to this person? Right. Why do I feel I need to engage and go further, especially if I'm connected to this person over here? Right. Why do I feel I need this lack? And I know sometimes we don't like to have those tough conversations, but sometimes it will help to just talk to your person. If you are feeling to the point where something has you looking halfway over the fence, like we all know, when you're in position to look over the fence or not, right? And if you are, sometimes it doesn't hurt to just say, look, this is kind of how I'm feeling. I've been getting a lot of this, that, and the other. Because what I've learned people will do when it comes to the DM, we like to play oblivious of people's intentions. When we know as grown folks, make no mistake about it, no grown person has time to consistently message you to say, hey, how you doing, if they don't want nothing. Exactly. That's rule number one. Let's take the shades off. The shades of denial or pretension, let's take them off and act like we don't know why the person is DMing us. Especially a person that has a wife, or a person that has a husband, or whatever. What else do they want? Or someone, the famous, well, I've just been separated for 2 months and trying to figure it out over there. You don't need to figure it out.
Figure it out until you get divorced.
If nothing burns me up the most, it's the folks in the gray area. I call the separation phase the gray area. I get it. No one wants to be alone. You still want to connect, but it causes problems because at the end of the day, today or tomorrow, the person can't say, if I can't say I do to you tomorrow, I don't today. Period. That's how you got to look at it. You ask yourself that, can we say I do tomorrow, people? If not, say I don't today. Yeah. That's it. Because that's the thing that's out here. People are offering us all sorts of things in the dark room.
Mm-hmm.
They're starting with you in the dark room, offering you this. I help you out. You need a little bit of this. I help you pay your bills. Oh, is it that serious?
Yeah,
all of these things. Is he making you happy at home? Is she cooking for you? Is she doing this? Oh, I can do this for you. Listen, if a person is bold enough to entreat upon a committed or covenant person, that person don't have no boundaries.
Right.
Make no mistake about it. Where there's smoke, there is fire, and you are not the only person there encroaching. Make no mistake. Don't be arrogant to think that you are, because you're not. So it's sometimes for some people it's a fishing game out here, and just like people that fish, they get up loyally at certain times in the morning and do their fishing, and it's no different with predators in real life. So that's what it is, y'all.
Yeah, man. Yeah. Real talk.
All right, folks. Well, we will see you guys next week. All right, Mr. Ford.
Peace.